Hello, this is Dr. Kamani, licensed clinical psychologist, and you are here for Are You Just Telling Us to Leave Our Jobs? We Have Bills to Pay. And this pay, and this is for Black women and toxic jobs. And I wanted to come on because I have seen comments periodically to my videos where Black women are asking, What, you just want us to leave our jobs? And I have said this repeatedly, and I'm going to repeat this again that I am not trying to convince anyone to leave a toxic job immediately without a game plan unless you are experiencing immediate danger to yourself in some kind of way, physically, psychologically, anything like that. So I'm not here to try to convince anyone of what to do because I don't live your life. So I can't tell you what to do. And I'm not minimizing or discounting how difficult it is to leave a toxic job, any job, and particularly a toxic job. It's not easy. So I'm not just saying just go out and just quit and just whatever happens happens. I'm not saying that. And so I want to talk a little bit in terms of what may be behind this kind of pushback to talking about what I'm talking about. And again, I'm talking to Black women who are starting to think and recognize that the toxic job is harming them. It's not good for them. So I'm talking to those women. So again, I'm not trying to convince anyone. If this information doesn't resonate with you, then maybe this is not the video or the channel for you. But I'm specifically talking to Black women who are recognizing the job is not good for them, it's harming them, and they want something different. Okay, so I'm not convincing anyone. So if that's not your mind frame, your mindset, then maybe this is not the appropriate video for you. So I wanted to talk a little bit in terms again, what may be behind some of this, because I hear it in terms of it's very much of a fear-based response. So I'm going to talk a little bit in terms of the fear-based, and I'm going to talk also in terms of my focus is really to encourage self-reflection, not to convince you, to encourage self-reflection by sharing about my own healing journey in terms of how I left a toxic job. So I wanted to share that information with you to see if it might be helpful and to also share about the healing journeys of other Black women. So you don't just hear from me. So you don't think, well, she's just biased. I'm telling you about Black women around the world who are talking about very similar experiences in terms of what happens in a toxic job and how it impacts you, how it harms you, and I also want you to hear from the healing journeys of other Black women, including myself, that healing is possible and you can pivot to something else. You are not just going out and just being free and just hoping that things will happen for you. I understand the financial realities. I understand that we all need to make money to pay our bills. So again, please do not um, uh, perceive what I'm saying or my videos as saying that I don't think you need to have a job or I don't think that you need to make money. That doesn't make any sense. That's not my message at all. So I have a number of notes today. Normally I don't have notes. I just kind of just speak. Um, but I have some notes today because I really wanted to address this because I really do not want for people to be so um I would say challenged or stuck by fear. And so I'm going to just break down some things in terms of what might be behind these kind of comments. And it allows you an opportunity to self-reflect if this might be you. If you are thinking and you are receiving this information through the filter of, oh, you just want us to quit and nobody can do that because I'm not saying that. And I also want to reference 4 videos that I recently saw that really resonated with me and really inspired me to do this video as well. So, in addition to some of the comments, and let me just say, the vast majority of the comments that I've received from Black women do not say that. The vast majority, but there are a few that do say that. And so I wanted to really come on and talk about that directly because I don't want people to have misperceptions in terms of what my message is. My message is I think you deserve better and I want you to get better. And I talk to you about different options and resources that you can access so that you can get out and get something and do something else to make money. I don't want you to be out and destitute. I don't want that for you. Okay. I want something better for you. So the four videos that I'm referencing, and again, I have notes today, are A Place for Black Women to Exhale by Stephanie Perry, No Purpose, No Problem by Adelia, and it's her podcast, Picky Girl Travels, Cultivating a Soft Life, again, Picky Girl Travels, and then It's Okay to Be Afraid. So It's Okay to Be Afraid by Alicia Renice, the artist. So all of these videos really inspired me because it's really talking about our mindset. So as Black women, we have been programmed in a certain way that we are supposed to just go out and do our best, and we just work and work and work and work, and then we work really well, and then we try to get promoted, and then we get these pensions, and then we can start living our life then. And no matter what happens at the job, it's going to be negative. You shouldn't expect anything different. Just put your head down and work, 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 work. Okay. So that is a lot of the social programming that we've received as Black women, also that we are strong and that we don't let people run us out of situations. We know how to play the game. All these things we've been taught, probably some other things too. I'm just giving like a summary. So when we've had this social programming, it's very difficult to challenge that or to even recognize the social programming because we've internalized it. And so those videos that I just referenced, and I'll put those in the description section also, those videos really address at the core level. The similarities with all of those videos is that it talks about your mindset and really being courageous enough to explore, what is my mindset, and is there a possibility of a different way of living? Is that a possibility? So am I audacious enough, am I courageous enough to consider there might be a different way I want to live my life? I'm not happy, I'm deeply unhappy, I want a different life for myself. And these women and these videos are talking about and modeling ways that you can live a different life and you could still make money. You don't have to, it's not an either or. Like, okay, I have to do this, or you're saying that I cannot do that. So what does that mean? Right? It's not either or, it's both and. So what these videos and what I'm saying to you is you can live a life where you center yourself in terms of your well-being, your wellness, okay? You cannot help anybody if you are not well. So centering your wellness and thinking about and incorporating in your life on an ongoing basis regularly things that bring you joy, things that you dream about, you can do that and still make money. It might be at a job, but maybe not at that toxic job, because that toxic job might be sucking all the life out of you, sucking the dreams out of you, sucking the joy out of you. It may not be that job, but you can have that. And you can also find a different job that makes money so you can pay your bills, or you can have your own business. So you don't have to stay someplace where you're being harmed. Now, something else as Black women that we've been told is you stay at a so-called good job that has good benefits. And my questioning to you is, again, I'm encouraging self-reflection. I'm not trying to convince you. Okay. So what I'm encouraging you to self-reflect on is a job really good if it is harming you? And Stephanie Perry talked about that in the video, and I did a reaction video to that, in which her quote was something like, that job is not a good job if it's killing you. So if you're saying to yourself, well, I make a good salary, I'm paying my bills, I have a house, I have a car, I have all these different things. But if it is impacting you in a negative way in terms of the quantity of your life. So your life, you are so stressed that you are developing health problems, mental health issues. So if it's harming you, how is it good? Do you need to access your benefits more, go to the doctor more, go to therapy more because of your job? So again, I encourage you to self-reflect. And I'm looking at and I'm talking about your mindset. So those videos that I talked about, what I'm talking about is your mindset. So again, those videos will be ready for you in the description section. So when I think about your mindset, I want to invite you to do some things, okay? So what I want to invite you to lean into the resistance, lean into when people talk about, or when you think about the possibility of leaving your toxic job, what comes up for you? If it's fear based and you have this automatic, like, oh, I can't do that, or what are you talking about? Because, I got bills. No, we can't do that. What are you talking about? If that is your immediate response, I invite you to lean into that resistance and really explore, where is that coming from? And more than likely, it is fear based. So that sense that I can't see another way of living outside of what I'm doing right now. And I'm so used to that, that the thought of change is very anxiety provoking for me. So that's the one thing. The second thing is that I invite you to self reflect on, do you not believe that you deserve something better? So sometimes we can think, well, I got this job. I'm thankful I got this job because of the economic climate. And again, it's fear based. I'm lucky to have this job. They're laying people off, and I better just hold on to this, right? My dreams are not important, right? Because I got to pay bills. But again, there are other jobs available to you. So as I'm talking to you and I'm talking about ways to self reflect, I'll also invite you to look at the data that confirm or challenge those mindsets that you have. Okay. So, and I want you to think broadly. I don't want you to just think of one thing in terms of the data. I want you to explore the data, explore all of the data that either confirms or challenges what you say. Okay. So if you think there's no other job that I can get, you got that job, you can get another job. If that's what you want to do, you can get another job. You can do that. Whatever skills and talents you have at that job, you can take somewhere else and they will appreciate it. Okay. So, but let me say this too. I've heard also Black women say, every job is toxic. So I might as well just stay there. And I want to challenge you with that. I do not believe that every job is toxic, because I've heard from many Black women who've talked to me about leaving a particular toxic job and ending up in another job that's so much better. I've heard it from many Black women. So I want to just challenge you on that. The other thing is, do you not believe that you deserve to dream, that you have a right to dream, that you have the right to experience joy? Do you feel like, again, it's either I grind and work and pay my bills, or I dream and experience joy and I have no money? That's the either or. We're talking about both and. Your life can be both and. It does not have to be either or, even though the social programming is to make you think that way. Because the social programming is to the benefit of others. Other people are benefiting from your labor. Other people are benefiting from you feeling like you cannot leave. Other people are benefiting from you being harmed by the workplace. So think about how much money goes into the healthcare system because of issues of stress and stress related illness. Let us think about that. Okay. The other thing that I'll invite you to think about and self reflect on is, have you internalized limitations of what can be done, so that your mind is fixated on what cannot be? So you are so kind of beat down and conditioned to lack and what cannot be, you cannot even envision what can be. So I encourage you or invite you to self-reflect on that. And then an example of that is, what is deeply sad to me, honestly, it's deeply sad to me, is that many of us have developed this sense of mental enslavement. So now the oppressor is in our own heads, and we are self limiting ourselves. So we do not believe in something different. So we are self limiting ourselves. So think about the role that oppression has on you in terms of viewing yourself, viewing your future, I even had a client she talked about working remotely, and she was talking about, not only the toxicity in the workplace when you were there in person, but she also talked about being terrorized and bullied through the laptop. So if the job is controlling your life, impacting your life in such a way that it's created toxicity in your home, it's created toxicity in how you view yourself, it has created toxicity in terms of what you believe is possible for yourself. So you are settling for the lowest possible life for yourself. I invite you to really self-reflect on that, okay? And the other part that I really invite you to self-reflect on is not only are you doing this for yourself, so are you so enslaved by this sense that you cannot, this is not possible for you, or you're too old to dream, you're too old to experience joy, you have too many responsibilities to experience joy or have dreams. If that is your mentality, are you also projecting that onto other people? So if another Black woman says to you, I cannot stand this job, I dread going there every day, I'm crying every day because of the job, I can't think of anything else besides the job. If you know of a Black woman who is saying that to you, and you say to her, your advice to her is, girl, you better stick it out. I mean, all jobs are toxic. If you discount her like that and you project your fears of, girl, you better stay there because it's a good job. You're going to be able to get another job. I mean, you're going to be able to get something as good as that, as good as what you got. Girl, don't you better just play the game. You don't let them run you out of there. If you are doing that, you are projecting your fears onto someone else. And you do not know how harmful that might be to her because she might be dying inside. She might be dreading her life because of this toxic job. And we do not want to project our fears onto other people. Now, we do want to be honest with those we care about and those whom we trust and they trust us in terms of, okay, I hear you. What's your game plan? Let's think about what the game plan is. So now I'm talking in terms of what to do. So if you are in this position where you're like, you know what? You're right. I am starting to internalize that view. I am thinking that, it's either dream or joy or the job. Like I feel like if I have dreams or joy that I can't make money, you know what? That's not even logical. That, I know that where that comes from. I know that social programming. If that is you, I just want to invite you to start thinking about ways that you can make the unconscious conscious. So those fears that I've talked to you about, and the reason I'm talking to you about this is that it allows you for an opportunity to make the unconscious conscious. So you might be having these thoughts, these fears, but you may not be even able to connect it. That is fear based. You may not even recognize that. But as you're listening to this video, if you're like, that sounds like me, I do that. If that is you, then this video hopefully is helping you make the unconscious, so your unconscious fears, making the unconscious conscious. And that's the first part of healing is that you recognize that there's a problem and you're doing something about it. So one, watching this video allows for you to self-reflect. Hopefully my other videos allow for that as well, to self-reflect. So you're making the unconscious conscious as you're hearing the experiences of me as well as other Black women, as we are toxic job survivors and we are healing and we're living a much better life on the other side. Okay, that's the one thing. The second thing is when I talked about lean into the resistance, lean into where is this fear coming from? What is this about? Why do I feel so immobilized by the fear? I can't even think about, getting out. I can't even think about what I need to do to get out. Okay, so if that is your situation, then I invite you to think about therapy. If you're already in therapy, that you are talking to your therapist about this in terms of processing and addressing that resistance you might have and working through that. because it might be triggering other things in your life. And that's something that I know that I experienced, that the toxic job started to remind me of other traumas in my life. So that might be the experience for you too, where the job is paralleling or becomes a trigger to previous traumas in your life. So again, therapy is very helpful for that, to address that. The third thing is coaching. So coaching will give you like a roadmap, like, okay, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. And the coach can even help you if you're not even clear about, okay, I think I want to do this, but I'm not quite sure. The coach can help you in terms of getting clarity about what is it that you want to do. And the coach will walk with you in terms of how to get there. Okay. So again, I wanted to come on to talk about this because I want to be very clear with you about what my mission is with these videos. My mission is to encourage self reflection, for you to really address and really explore your mindset. If you are a Black woman and you are in a toxic job and you are deeply unhappy and you want to get out, I want you to show you that you can get out, but sometimes it really entails you addressing those mindset blockages that you might have. So you might need a cleansing of your mindset. And maybe these videos provide an opportunity for maybe your initial cleansing, but you might need some deeper cleansing in therapy. And you might need someone to help walk with you through the process of getting clarity about what is it that you want and how to get there. So there are resources available. I do not want any of us to feel that we are stuck in a toxic job because that is the only way for us to make money. Let us reject that. That is not true. It is not true. And when we think about, a garden, I'm going to make a connection with a garden. And actually, the guest on Adelia's video, Cultivating a Soft Life, talked about this. And I've done other videos about this too. So I invite you to think about it like a garden. Think about your life as like a garden, okay? So in a garden, you know that you have to consistently take out the weeds in your garden because they will kill the fruits, the vegetables. They will ruin any opportunities for growth. Many times a toxic job can be like a weed. So it squeezes out any opportunities for growth, and it squeezes out your life. So in terms of thinking about, if you're dreading your life, you are losing the beauty and the fullness of your life. If your job is like that, that's one of the weeds that needs to go. Okay, so that you can grow, so you can thrive, so you can live a beautiful life, because you can. And I want you to know that. I want you to know that you can live a beautiful life. And it makes me so sad when I hear Black women doubt that they can even live a beautiful life. They doubt that that's even possible for them. That is deeply saddening. It makes me very sad. It makes me very sad. And I don't want that for you. And that's why I will continue to talk on these videos, because I want something better for us. Our ancestors fought, they gave so much for us to be here. For us not to be able to access joy or dreams because the oppressors are doing things to us, and now they're in our head and making us think about what we are not able to do. I invite us to say, no, no, that is not true. Okay. And think of this, that this is not only for you, this is for all people who care about you, because people who care about you are watching. They are seeing what's happening to you, and that is harming them as well, because nobody who cares about you wants you to be beat down. They don't want you to see you be harmed, and it makes them feel helpless and hopeless too. So you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for those who care about you, your family. If you are a mother or other children are watching you, think about, what are you modeling for them too? You hopefully are modeling for them that you will not tolerate people disrespecting you. And when people disrespect you, that you explore other options and you go in that direction, you navigate through life to get to something better. That is my hope, is that if you are a mother, you are showing kids that, or if you're an aunt, if you work with kids, if kids are watching you, that kids can see that of you. Okay. So as I'm signing off, I am inviting you, just as I am channeling my inner Harriet. Harriet is one of my sheroes. So Harriet and Fannie Lou Hamer, two of my sheroes. So again, Harriet, the conductor, Fannie Lou Hamer, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick and tired at that job, so I resigned. I'm sick and tired of seeing Black women beat down at these jobs, not valued at these jobs, and robbed of any sense that we can dream or experience joy. I'm sick and tired of that. And so I'm channeling my inner Harriet as I'm reaching for you, and I'm trying to help as many Black women as I can to leave and heal from toxic jobs. I'm not saying to you, just leave and things will work out. I'm talking to you about how do you access resources to help you get out so you will be in good financial standing and hopefully better financial standing. Okay. So that is what I want for you. So as I am channeling my inner Harriet, as I'm lifting, as I'm moving, as I'm continuing to go through my healing journey, Lifting As We Climb, that is my business name, Lifting As We Climb Consulting Wellness Services. I invite you to not only self reflect for yourself, but be mindful of not projecting your fears onto other Black women. And if you hear of Black women who are talking about they cannot stand their job, right? So check yourself in terms of do not project your fears onto her or to them. But you can also help them by encouraging them, checking your own fear in terms of projecting, and sharing resources with them. So, one thing you can do is share this video with them. You can also give a thumbs up so that other Black women who are watching YouTube are suggested this video and they see a way out too. So, I want to help as many Black women, as many of us, channel our inner Harriet to get out of these toxic, hostile jobs because we deserve better. We deserve better. Okay. So I'm signing off. And again, I will put those videos that I referenced earlier in the description section. And I invite you to check out those videos too. They're really good. Okay. So support yourself, self reflect, access resources, and share information and resources in this video with other Black women. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Lifting As We Climb Consulting Wellness Services. Okay, see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.